All right. Mic check. 1 2 1 2. Mic check. 1 2 1 2. Y'all know what day it is. Y'all know what time it is. And y'all know who y'all looking at. Want to welcome everybody to another episode of Club Pizzle. I am, of course, your host, Don P. Pizzle, the pod god, the best pod in the fucking city. Don't let nobody else tell y'all nothing different. We are here. I am excited to be back. It seems like I haven't been around in a while, but I've been here, damn it. It just seems like I haven't been around in a while. It just seems that these Thursdays get further and further apart. Even though I do have the I'll name this segment later thing, I didn't do it last week. Listen, y'all, let me tell y'all something. The type of job that I work, like my work schedule is crazy. Like my work schedule, I know my work schedule from the beginning of the year to the end of the year. I know what days I'm going to work. If I'm choosing not to work a day, I'm either on vacation or I'm calling off, but I'm never calling off. So I am right in the middle of a stretch where I am working like, let's see, 14, like 19 days in a row. I'm at day 11. I believe this is 11. Something like that. It's a lot of days. It's like 11. And then when I clock out next Thursday, I have a 3-day weekend, Good Friday, all of that stuff. But I am here. I'm here for a good time and not a long time. Y'all know how I do, man. This is Club Pizzle. I want to thank y'all for y'all's continued support of this platform. I want to thank y'all for y'all continued support of this podcast. As long as you guys support this podcast, I am going to keep doing it. Even if you don't support this fucking podcast, I am going to continue to do it. There goes my monetization out of the window. No, I'm kidding. I don't think my sound effects played there. Just wanted to make sure that played real quick. Anyway, I can hear it on my headphones, but I'm looking at my board here. But again, man, thank y'all. I know there's a lot going on right now. I know some of y'all are currently looking at the NCAAs right now. Just put that shit on mute and just listen to me. Just loan me about 35, 45 minutes of your time. If that. Speaking of which, though, shout out to all of my guys, or shout out to my guys who were brave enough to enter the Pizzle's Picks bracket challenge. That bracket challenge is up, is going. As of right now, like it's popping, it's going on, it's going down. I did a men's bracket as well as a men's bracket. So shout out to Greg McCurry, who won the NFL playoff picks. Shout out to my guy Ray Simpson, who won. I believe he won the bowl challenge. Shout out to my guy Larry Gardner, who is the host of Headlines and Headaches and the Headlining Eye. Y'all can check him out. And shout out to my guy Chris Cargile. Those are the only guys who are brave enough to step up to the plate. The rest of y'all pussy. I tried to tell them. Cash prizes are attached to these, but I'm gonna just tell y'all right now before I get into all of my stuff here. My men's bracket, I have no idea what my men's bracket. I haven't watched the game. Like I came home from work, I decompressed, took a shower, and sitting chilling. I've been watching Tubi movies for the last couple of days, which is kind of crazy. I watched the Freaknik doc today, which I will be discussing on the newest episode of Full Disclosure, which will be coming to y'all really, really, really soon. Jocelyn and I are back. Y'all checked out the last episode that me and Jocelyn did. If y'all haven't, go check it out. It is exclusively on Spotify. And another quick programming note. If y'all are going to Facebook to look for this, you're not going to find it. If you want to catch me on Thursday nights at 8 p.m., like I've been the last year or the last half a year since I've come and since I left Redline and come back home, make sure y'all are tuned in to YouTube Thursday nights at 8. Shout out to my Spotify listeners who tune in Friday mornings at 6 a.m. But I might just drop the Spotify at 8 p.m. on Thursdays. I'm just gonna wait and just give me a minute, man. I'm telling y'all, I'm like a lot of this stuff that I'm doing a lot of this stuff on my own. It's just me. It's just me. So bear with me. But let me tell y'all, my final 4 picks in the Pizzle's picks bracket. I'm gonna give y'all my final 4. And I told y'all, I have not watched a lick of basketball all season. My final 4 picks, I got UConn, I got Houston, I got North Carolina, and I got Tennessee. Those are my final 4 picks for the men. And this is the first year that I'm actually doing a women's bracket challenge. So, like, this is gonna be fun. Like, I'm having a blast. I'm going to have a blast with this. My final 4 picks for the win are South Carolina, Texas, Iowa, and USC. It's really chalk. I really went chalk. And I'm telling y'all, I went chalk because, like, I watched some women's college basketball, but I just picked the teams that I know. And I know USC, I know South Carolina, I know Iowa, I know Texas. Those are the teams that I did watch this year. I got a better chance at just completely, like, my bracket being busted by 5 o'clock tomorrow on the men's side, because I ain't gonna lie to y'all, I haven't watched a lick of college basketball in 2 seasons. When I became a season ticket holder for the Cleveland Charge, the NBA G League, that kind of took away my my college basketball. Like, I don't watch college basketball as much. Like, I might peek and watch some here and there. But I will tell you, I have been keeping up. I've been seeing, it's been a lot of upsets, and I'm expecting some upsets. So we're just going to see with that. So those are the bracket challenges. Quick programming note, I will be doing a Pizzle's Picks WrestleMania edition on Friday, April the 5th. And I also will be doing a WrestleMania special. My first, what is going to be like a homecoming for me, because I'm going to be at Redline Radio. It's going to be myself, hosted by Lex Vegas. Shout out to my guy Lex Vegas, Jackson Cade, Big Squeeze, Dave Wallencheck, and Meech the Shredder. We are going to be talking all things WrestleMania. We are going to be talking all things WWE. It's going to be a whole lot of fun over there. Now, let's get to it, because like I said, I'm here for a good time and not a long time. Now, the Cleveland Cavaliers, it's been a week since I last left you guys. They went on a road trip, and they let's see. It was, I gotta get to it. I know it was the road, it was like a 3-game road trip. Houston kicked their ass, and they beat Indiana in a doozy, and then they won the other game. Like, going 2-1 on that road trip was big. That's big business. At New Orleans, beat the hell out of the Pelicans. I think that's a game that I did discuss here on Club Pizzle last week. But to go 2-1 on that road trip, and then last night they dropped a game against the Miami Heat in a close one. I'll get to the next 4 in a minute. But in other news, Tristan Thompson is back. Welcome back, TT. After having his after serving his 25-game suspension for PEDs, whatever. And they also signed Marcus Morris Sr. to a 10-day contract. Now, I'm expecting them to turn that 10-day contract into they might go 10-day and then do another 10-day, or they might do the whatever the maximum allotment of 10-day contracts is, and then sign up for the rest of the season. I'm expecting him to be here for the rest of the season. He came in and contributed and contributed immediately. I mean, he had like 14 points or something like that against New Orleans. He gave some good quality minutes against Houston. He had some good quality minutes against Indiana. He had some good quality minutes. In Indiana. No, wait. I'm sorry, y'all. The Indiana game was his first game, so he's only played in the last 2 games. I'm sorry, y'all. Like, I'm bugging. Y'all gotta forgive me for that. Like, and this is gonna be the part that y'all fucking remember, because that's just the way that y'all are. Good quality minutes. The Indiana game was what it was. It came down to it, and you got like this team, and I'll get to that. Like I said, I'm expecting Marcus Morris Sr. to be here for the remainder of the year. I'm expecting him to be here for the playoff run. Otherwise, he wouldn't be playing, honestly. I mean, Evan Mobley is still out. Max Strus is still out. Donovan Mitchell was also hurt. He has a broken nose or something with his face. Thanks, Tristan Thompson. Come back your first game, and what do? You bop your man in the nose. That's another injury piling up. The injury bug has been running rampant in Cleveland, Ohio for the last 8 months. And God darn it, I'm sick of it. It got to go. It's time. It's time. I mean, the Cleveland Guardians season is starting here real soon. They are currently in spring training, and hopefully the injury bug don't come and bite them in the keister. Even though I have no idea what they're going to be like this year, but I do plan on going to a bunch of Cleveland Guardians games this year. But back to the Cavaliers. The thing that I've been noticing, and this has been an ongoing thing all year outside of the injuries, the playing down to the competition is one thing. And they seem to do that a lot. Some of these teams, the Brooklyn game, you're not supposed to play down to them. I mean, then they come out against New Orleans and look like world beaters. And New Orleans is currently in the Western Conference playoff picture and trying to be trying to get a top 4 seed. And then you go to Houston and get your ass beat. But I will say that Houston team played the Cavaliers tough in the first matchup. I went to that game. Like, that was a tough matchup even then. And that was with Sengun. They did this without Sengun. I mean, the Cavs just looked like they had a blast in Houston and just didn't show up. And then they come back to play Indiana, which is a division opponent, and they're always going to be tough. They just swapped out Buddy Hield, who was a Cavalier killer, and he showed that when he played. He showed that in his first game against the Cavs with the Sixers for Pascal Siakam, who was a damn good player, all-star. To see where he started and to see where he is now is a treat. Tyrese Halliburton hasn't been having the best second half since the All-Star break. He hasn't been playing well. So he's not the only one that the All-Star break is kind of screwed up, because the Cleveland Cavaliers were in a good rhythm before the All-Star break. And once the All-Star break ended, it just seemed like things slowed down. It seemed like they were out of rhythm. But this team playing down to the competition, they have to cut the turnovers. especially in the crucial situations. I've seen Darius Garland cause or have some really bad turnovers in moments where we really need him to show up. That's my only complaint about Darius Garland. Because since the All-Star break and since Donovan went down and since Strus went down, he has seemed to find things. Since the Chicago game a couple of weeks ago, and I said this, maybe he's turned that corner because he's been hot. He has hit the most three-pointers of any player in the NBA since the All-Star break. That's something. And George Niang has stepped into the starting lineup and has played well. Now, I know we have good George and bad George. We've been getting a little bit of both. But George Niang is a hard guard there. And Jared Allen continues to play at a great level. Jared Allen, I really listen, and this might just be the Cleveland bias in me to say this. Jared Allen is playing at an all-NBA level. He had 25 and 20 last night. He's getting 20 games. He's a walking double-double. No matter who he's up against, he is balling out. He's playing at an all-NBA level. Donovan Mitchell played at an all-NBA level, but I think because he's outside of that 65-game threshold, he can't get none of that stuff. So that's just is what it is, man. And bad quarters. You can't have bad quarters. And the Cavaliers have had an abundance of bad quarters. And it's usually one bad quarter. It's the second, or they'll come out slow or start slow, or they'll have a horrible second quarter and spend the entire second half trying to climb their way back into it and wear themselves out and run out of gas at the end, i.e. the Phoenix game. They kind of did it against Miami last night. On top of that, all of these games, like the last couple of weeks, since that Philly game before the All-Star break, every game has felt like a playoff game. These teams are getting into playoff mode. All of them. The referees are getting in playoff mode too because they're starting to call it. They're starting to let them play just a little bit. They're starting to call it a little tighter, and they're kind of like screwing up the rhythm of the game. To me, a little bit. It's breaking teams' rhythms. Teams that get hot, they call a foul, and it pisses me off. All right, so with 12 games to go, the Cleveland Cavaliers are sitting in the third seed. They are a half a game behind the Milwaukee Bucks, and they are a game and a half, I believe, ahead of the New York Knicks and the Orlando Magic, who are nibbling at their heels at 4-5. That Knicks Magic series might be a hell of a first round series. I'm telling y'all, like I be looking at possibilities. And as the playoffs currently stand, with the Cleveland Cavaliers, I think they're a full game. I'm sorry, they're a full game behind Milwaukee. As it currently stands, they be playing the Indiana Pacers in the first round. I'm fine with that matchup. Yes, that's a Central Division foe, but that's a Central Division foe that we can beat up on. And let me get to I'll get to the conference standings here in a second. But let's look at the next four for the Cavaliers. They're at Minnesota, at Miami, come home for Charlotte, and go to Chicago. And those are the next four games before the next episode of Club Pizzle next week. They can beat Minnesota. I don't know. I mean, on the road it's going to be different. And again, we don't know when Mobley and Strus are going to be back. Hopefully we get one of them back. I think Donovan's out for at least the rest of this week. We may not see Donovan until the Charlotte game or maybe the Chicago game, but we can beat Miami. The Cavs can beat Miami. Charlotte, they should beat. And at Chicago, they should beat Chicago. So there's no reason why they can't go 3-1 in these next four. But again, man, we just gonna have to see. JB Bickerstaff is doing a great job with this team in spite of all of the injuries. Started the season off with Jared Allen being injured. Lost Darius Garland and Evan Mobley at the same time with separate injuries, and were without them for much of December and much of January, and the team leveled up because of what Donovan Mitchell did. And then Donovan missed some games. Karis LeVert missed some games. And now Max Strus is out and Mobley is out again. And JB has continued to do a great job with this team. That just shows how resilient this team is. In spite of the loss last night, I really wasn't that mad because this team fights. This team has a fighting chance and a puncher's chance. With guys like Okoro stepping up, with guys like Sam Merrill hitting threes, with guys like George Niang here, with guys like Marcus Morris Sr., who has that playoff experience. I believe he has NBA Finals experience. He is a veteran. He can just come in off the bench and do whatever this team needs him to do. Having Tristan Thompson here, going through those playoff wars and having championship pedigree. How confident am I in this team getting to the conference finals and winning an NBA championship? I just don't know. We're gonna see. I'm going to remain optimistic just because the Cavaliers fan in me will not allow me to give up on this team. Because if I give up on this team, they'll fuck around and win the whole goddamn thing. That's just how I feel about that. Seriously. I won't give up on this team. I know a lot of people out there have, and I'm not going to kick your back in unless you turn around. As long as you don't turn around, my foot will remain on the ground. But a lot of people have given up on the Cavaliers. I see you guys on social media. I'm looking. I look through my timeline and through my news feed. I know who's watching. I know who's at the games. I know who's paying attention. I see it. I know who started the season watching, but when Mobley and Garland went down, y'all just went radio silent. Just continue to be that way. Just let it be. Let's look at the current standing. The Boston Celtics are running away. They're the 1 seed. They're 11 games up with like 12 to go, so they have clinched the 1 seed. 2 through 6, the Milwaukee Bucks, the Cleveland Cavaliers, the New York Knicks, the Orlando Magic, the Indiana Pacers. That's 1 through 6. Those guys have a spot. But Miami is close to that 6th spot, as well as Philadelphia at 38 and 31. Those are the 7-8, and 9 and 10 are the Chicago Bulls and the Atlanta Hawks. I promise y'all, if it wasn't for this play-in, they would have broke the Atlanta Hawks up a long time ago. But I feel like this team has this season and next season, and they're going to bust that shit up. I got a feeling that Trae Young may axe out DeAndre Hunter, DeJounte Murray. That experiment, like that shit, it's just not working. And Quinn Snyder, he just is what he is. Brooklyn is hanging on to that 11th spot, but I'm expecting Atlanta to stay there. I thought Brooklyn would be better than what they are. They fired Jacques Vaughn and brought in Kevin Ollie, and it's just not it. They're going to have to bust that team up because that team is just not going to do anything. Build it around Mikal Bridges, and Cam Thomas and Cam Johnson, and get everybody else the fuck out of there. Seriously. It's not going to work. Looking at the Western Conference, it is a log jam up here. Like 1 through 3, Oklahoma City, as of this recording, Oklahoma City is sitting at 1, Denver 2, and it's a half a game. Minnesota 3, the Clippers at 4, the Pelicans are at 5. The Pelicans and the Clippers in the first round is going to be very intriguing if it sticks there. And Sacramento at 6. Dallas and Phoenix are 7 and 8, and they're currently tied. The Lakers at 9, Golden State at 10. Listen, I could do a whole hour on the Los Angeles Lakers. I just don't want to. Seriously, I could. I could just talk about what that team should be, but they might just be what they are. And they might, and as with all of those skilled players, and I'm not gonna spend too much time on this. You have LeBron James and Anthony Davis, two of the best. You got D'Angelo Russell, who's shown that he can ball. Rui Hachimura is like one of my favorite like off-brand guys. When I call him off-brand, he's not a star. He's not a household name, but he's balling. Cam Reddish is another one of those guys for me. Austin Reeves is just like the ultimate like team dude. He's another one of those off-brand guys. If y'all want my opinion, and y'all probably don't give a shit about the Lakers, but I do root for the Lakers as well, so I'm going to tell y'all. It's Darvin Ham, y'all. Hello? I don't know. I don't know if anybody else sees that, but it's Darvin Ham. It's something that Gilbert Arenas said. I watched Gil's pod. He said these coaches aren't coaching. A lot of these coaches aren't coaches anymore. They're just monitoring minutes and sending guys in. They sit there with their little sheets in their hand and looking at the clock and saying, oh, it's this time. Send this guy in. Send this guy in. Fuck that. It's Darvin Ham. He got to go. Who can do the job? I do not know. Again, like, maybe just let Bron be player coach for his final season. It could be a good fucking idea, Jeannie. Maybe that's what they were laughing and kikiing about last week while everybody was talking about, why is these white ladies all on LeBron? If y'all motherfuckers paid more attention, y'all would know that was Jeannie Buss and that was Kurt Rambis' wife. I forget what her name is, but they are two of the higher-ups with the Lakers. Jeannie Buss owns the fucking Lakers. So y'all talking all that dumbness. Like, just, you know what? I'm not even going to go there. Like, but we are in for a great home stretch here in the NBA. I know I picked the Boston Celtics to win it all. I think I'm going to stick with, as of right now, and I'm going to have playoff predictions and all of that. Pizzle's picks playoff edition. I'm going to do that. I'm probably going to do an NBA bracket challenge and give y'all an opportunity to win some more money. That's if y'all do step up. I like my real one's going to step up. Like a couple of my people going to step up. I'm still looking at Denver and I'm still looking at Boston. Come out of the East and the West. Unless Milwaukee somehow gets hot. And I want a Denver-Milwaukee NBA Finals. I'm here for it. I'll probably be the only one watching because y'all only like, never mind. Moving on, let's look at the Cleveland Browns before I get out of here. Couple of free agency moves. They brought in Snoop Huntley from Baltimore, backup quarterback. And I think it's a pretty damn good move, personally. It's a move that I'm not upset at. So as of right now, the QB room sits at, you got Deshaun Watson, you got Jameis Winston, you got Tyler Huntley, you got Dorian Thompson-Robinson. Now, don't expect for all four guys to make the team. That's just not like, that'd be unprecedented for a team to keep four quarterbacks. I'm expecting them to keep three, which is Watson, Winston, and Huntley, and possibly have Dorian on the practice squad. That would be the thing that would make sense. But this move right here is, it's normal. I just don't understand. Like, I know y'all pay attention to things. Like, how do y'all not see this? Like, most teams do go into training camps with 4 quarterbacks. Because the way the NFL is set up today, your starter may not play in the preseason at all. I'm not expecting to see Deshaun Watson suit up and play any of these 3 preseason games. So look for Winston or Snoop Huntley to be starting, and Dorian Thompson-Robinson will be here. He will not be let go until the end of training camp. That's just how I see it. And final thing before I get out of here. Happy retirement to Aaron Donald. I do that at least once a week on this show, so y'all get used to it. I should know my soundboard buttons by now, but I can be a doof sometimes, so it is what it is. But happy retirement to Aaron Donald, one of the best ever. He was not your prototypical defensive tackle. The dude is probably 6 foot tall, 6'1" on a good day, and maybe 280 pounds or something like that. But the dude was just, he was him. We watched it for 10 years. Those offensive linemen out here are doing backflips because they don't have to deal with that shit anymore. Sean Payton is not Sean Payton. Sean McVay is pulling his hair out. But the rest of the league is like, whoo, them guys went to church last week. I guarantee y'all that. And looking at that 2029 Hall of Fame class with Aaron Donald, Cleveland's own Jason Kelce, and Fletcher Cox, I might go down to the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 2029. Just because Jason Kelce is going to be inducted. Why wouldn't I go? He's one of us. He's Cleveland's own, Cleveland Heights own. I am currently a Cleveland Heights resident. I think the entire city, Cleveland Heights, should just go. Everybody should go down there. Go and support that man and clap for him and all of that stuff. That's 2029, though. That's 5 years from now. But that's going to be a hell of a Hall of Fame class, and that's going to be a hell of a celebration to see. With that said, y'all, we're going to get out of here, man. I'm keeping these things short and sweet unless I got some other stuff that I want to talk about. But right now, we just trying to keep it local and keep it Cavs and do a little bit of NBA and a lot of stuff. Just stay tuned, y'all. We got some stuff going. I got an idea that had a light bulb moment in my head. I am going to do something for the city of Cleveland and the local underground scene. I can't be of the culture and not do something for the culture, or I can't be a part of Thursdays for the culture and not do something for the culture. So Cleveland Underground guys, just be looking out for some stuff. Also, make sure y'all get ready for the next Battleground, which will be taking place on April the 20th. Season 2 is in full swing. Shout out to the Atlanta winner. Shout out to Cass the Artist, who is our current reigning defending champion. She will be defending her title against somebody come April 20th at Exotic Cuisines. That's where we're going to be at. So make sure y'all pull up for that. The Battleground after show, I don't know when Meech is dropping that. Hopefully he'll be dropping that soon. I'm gonna have to get on his case about that. Like, hey, drop the shit, bro. Full disclosure, we'll be back. We're going to take a little pivot because I watched a couple of very interesting documentaries this week, and my co-host watched these same documentaries. So we're going to discuss those documentaries that I saw. The Freaknik documentary, which dropped today, and we're going to talk about Quiet on the Set, which talked about the Nickelodeon days, like the dark days of Nickelodeon and child actors and shit like that. Like I do more than sports. So I told you I do sports, I do hip hop, I can do current events, I can do it all. That's why I'm the fucking pod guy, goddamn it. So we gonna get out of here, man. I want to thank y'all again for tuning in. I want to thank y'all for y'all's continued support of this platform and of this podcast. Always remember to protect your peace, protect your energy. The message is more important than the messenger. And creators, be great. Stay positive because negative energy is trash. Till next time, y'all. Peace.